$250,000 over MSRP. Let me say that again. $250,000 over MSRP is what Dodge dealerships are charging for the brand new 2023 Dodge Challenger SRT DEMON 170. It has gotten so bad that Dodge has responded with what they're calling priority scheduling, which basically means after the customer consents to the price for the Demon, his order, if it's over MSRP, over a certain amount, Dodge will push the building for that car to the back. In other words, you're not going to get that $250,000, $300,000 Demon until much later in the year, because Dodge's, that's their way of punishing dealerships for charging over MSRP. Now, if they can do that for the Demon, why haven't they done that for the Hellcats and the Scat Packs that Dodge dealerships have been charging MSRP or over MSRP for the last year and a half, 2 years? I don't know, but let's talk about it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video, man. So you can tell I'm in the car. That makes this the car vlog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. I've got car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, and anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around, because you're in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So in a previous video, I talked about how some dealerships are charging as much as $150,000 for the Dodge Demon 170, which I thought was a lot, and a lot of you thought was a lot, but apparently other people don't think that's a lot. So you know the Demon 170 is going for an MSRP of $100,361, which isn't totally unreasonable. Truth be told, you're getting a 1,035 horsepower muscle car that, you know, has never been seen before, and it's a one of a kind, and it's only going to be here for a year. That's not a bad price. I mean, $100,000 for, I mean, easily the most powerful car ever built. You know, that's not bad at all. And a lot of people don't mind paying that. But what people do mind paying for is up to $250,000 over MSRP. Let me say that again, $250,000 over MSRP due to dealer markups, right? It's gotten that bad. I mean, you've seen some of your bigger YouTubers or whatever the case may be putting in orders for Dodge Demon 170s, and they're paying $250,000, $270,000, if not $300,000. And I'll be honest with you, me personally, they're saying that that's pretty much supercar prices. And I mean, $270,000, $280,000, $300,000, guys, that's a house. You know, unless you're taking this Demon 170 to the drag strip and making money off of it, or unless money is no subject or no topic of discussion to you, right? I mean, I can't see myself or see anybody else dropping almost $300,000 for a Dodge Demon 170. Now, granted, I understand that you would own a piece of history, and I understand that in time, you would be able to sell this for probably twice as much as what you bought it for. I get that. But $270,000, $300,000 for a Demon, for a Dodge? And you guys know, like I know, you've seen the interior. Let's not, you know, act like we're brand new to it. I mean, I showed you guys the interior when I was in Vegas. I mean, it's a Challenger. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But apparently it's gotten so bad that Dodge has gotten aware, or has been made aware of, the markups that some of these dealers are adding on top of the car, and they're doing what they call priority scheduling, right? Or schedule priority, which basically means that if they get word from the dealership and the consenting customer that they have signed off on buying a particular Demon 170 over a certain MSRP, or it's a certain amount over MSRP, that Challenger Demon gets pushed back. So it's no longer the priority to get it built and shipped ASAP. It gets pushed back in a line. The people that are closest, or the dealerships that are closest to MSRP, are the ones that get the priority shipping. In other words, if you buying a Dodge Demon for 110, 120, 130, 150, probably, your order should be fulfilled ASAP, as opposed to a dealership that's charging $250, $270, $300. Theirs is going to be pushed back to the back of the line, which doesn't stop the dealership from selling the car. Let me make that clear. That's not Dodge saying, hey, listen, there's no way that we would sell a $100,000 car for $350 or allow you to make that much of a profit. They're just saying, we'll push it back. So it's not like they're losing out on money. It's just one of those things like, we'll push it back to punish you. Now, my question is, if they can do this for the Demon 170, why haven't they been doing this for the Hellcat for the last year and a half? I mean, I know a guy specifically that bought a Dodge Charger Jailbreak, right? 2023. It had leather seats and a sunroof, nothing crazy. And he paid 122 for it. Now, the MSRP for those cars is about $88,000. So that's almost $30,000 over MSRP. But for some reason, you know, Dodge will get that car shipped out ASAP to any dealership, right? So it's not like they care about all cars that's going over MSRP. It seems to be just the Demon 170. So apparently there's some sort of special process, right? The Dodge has a special process for ordering the Demon 170. The process includes a document and acknowledgement form that has to be signed by the customer, signed by the dealer, and notarized. With the Demon 170 being such a unique car, the document includes some disclaimer warnings, users to not drive the car in the rain or if it's too cold, boilerplate stuff, and then it explains their priority orders based off of pricing. Dodge will not schedule an individual vehicle build until it is in receipt of the acknowledgement form. So in other words, the person has to acknowledge, signature. The dealership has to acknowledge with the signature on the form, on the acknowledgement form. The form gets sent back to Dodge, then they ship it out. Included with the acknowledgement form is whether the customer paid the manufacturer's suggested retail price, MSRP, or over. If the buyer paid over MSRP or under, the buyer's car gets priority scheduling, which basically means that once Dodge gets word that you have paid either over MSRP or under MSRP, it gets based off of priority shipping. So if you go in there and buy your Dodge Demon for $300,000, needless to say, your shit's going to get pushed all the way back, which sucks for the customer. And the customer is the one that loses out because not only are you paying 2-3 times over MSRP for a car, but now your shit's going to get delayed months because Dodge is punishing the dealership, but they're actually just punishing the customer. And the closer it is to MSRP, that basically states the sooner you'll get your order. But like I said, that doesn't stop the order from being fulfilled. So in all actuality, a dealership can charge $500,000 for a Demon and, you know, still make that sale. But you know, like I know, that car is still going to be shipped and that $500,000 is still going to be paid. So let's not act like Dodge really cares. They really don't. It's just one of them things like, let's make it seem like we do. Let's see here. Apparently more than we originally thought. The spokesperson said that out of the 1,000 order documents Dodge received on March 27, so 1,000 order documents, 1,000 order requests were sent in on the 27th. What's significant about the 27th is that is the day that the Demon opened for sale. All right, you got a helicopter going, so they looking for somebody. March 27th was the day that the Demon opened for order. 1,000 orders were put in. 630 of them, which is 63%, came back notarized by the buyer and seller that the car was sold at MSRP. So it looks like 63% are stating that the car was sold at MSRP, right? Which is good. It is very possible that at least some of the 630 orders were done by exploiting a loophole in which the dealer sells a Demon to an employee for MSRP only to resell the car for much more afterwards. Now that's cold-blooded. So basically they're saying that these dealerships will basically falsify an order stating that one of the employees wants to buy a Demon and that they're going to sell it to the employee for MSRP. But as soon as it gets to the dealership, they then resell it for 2 to 3 times more, which apparently is a loophole that a lot of dealerships get around by using. That's crazy though. So boom, you got a brand new Dodge Demon that's going for about $100,000, and let's say a Dodge dealership in Charlotte, North Carolina says, hey, listen, we're going to be selling that car for $102,000, which is basically right at MSRP, taxes, fees, all that stuff included, and it's got the name of one of the employees at the Dodge dealership. Obviously, Dodge doesn't know that, you know, that employee works there, or, you know, there's an affiliation or whatever the case may be. Or maybe they do know and it's kind of like an employee pricing type of thing. But either way, if the order is legitimate, the document is notarized and legitimate, Dodge has nothing to worry about from there. So they ship out the Demon for $102,000 thinking that they just made a good sale. Lo and behold, once the dealership receives it, obviously the employee doesn't take delivery of it. And instead, what they do is they mark it up to $150, $250, $350, and then resell it. I didn't realize that happens, but that makes perfect sense. However, the numbers seem to indicate that there have been plenty of legitimate sales at the right price. It's nice to see that in the wasteland of greedy retailers, there are some bright points of hope. So it seems like out of the 1,000 orders that's been submitted as of March 27th or on March 27th, 63% of those came back legitimate at MSRP. But you and I both know I wouldn't be making this video if people were already not paying $250,000, $300,000. There's a couple YouTubers that's already dropped $250,000 for a Dodge Demon. I mean, that's obviously, don't expect that shit from me. You know, that's a house right there. And you guys know I don't drag race or, you know, take my shit to the drag strip. So don't expect that shit from me. But some people are dropping $250,000 for a Dodge Demon 170. Now, my question to you is, how much is this car worth to you? If you had $200,000, is a Dodge Demon 170 worth $200,000? Because Lambo just dropped their new Lamborghini. Let me see here. Lambo. Oh, damn. You guys know I can't pronounce this shit. 2024 Lamborghini Revoluto. If you say it real fast, it sounds good. Revoluto. But they just dropped their new Lamborghini, and we already know that this car is going to be going for easily $300,000, $334,000, something like that. Pricing. Oh, I take that back. Yeah. So for the Lamborghini Revoluto, they're saying that it could be anywhere between $500,000 to $800,000. Now, what's interesting about this is that it comes with the V12 naturally aspirated 812 horsepower. But I think it said that it comes with 3 different engines, and one of those engines could be outputting almost $1,000 horsepower. I'm sorry. So for 1,000 horsepower car, you're willing to pay $500,000, but for another 1,000 horsepower car, the Dodge Demon 170, you're not willing to pay half a mil for? Now, I understand there's a huge difference between a Dodge and a damn Lamborghini. I get that. But if we're just looking at numbers on paper, power to power, the Demon is more powerful than a Lamborghini, and they're only asking for $250,000, well, a little over $250,000. So my question to you is, what's a price that's worth it to you? I mean, what could you see yourself legitimately paying for a Dodge Demon 170? Don't lowball yourself, because you know you're not walking off the dealership at least short of, I mean, I want to be honest here, short of about 130, 150, right? I mean, if you find the perfect dealership, you may get one for around that price, but realistically, you're looking at 140, 150 plus. We talked about this in a previous video, but I mean, is that bad? I mean, $200,000 for a 1,000 horsepower muscle car, a one-of-a-kind 1,000 horsepower muscle car that you're never going to see again after this year? Is that the worst price in the world? I don't know, man. How much are you willing to put into a Dodge Demon 170? But I mean, you know, regardless of whatever you think or whatever the price is, I really feel like Dodge should have been doing this shit probably years ago with the Hellcats and the Scat Packs, because let's not act like dealers are just now marking up Dodge automobiles. They've been marking these cars up since, you know, the beginning of the time, but more recently it's gotten worse. You know, like I said, my homeboy just dropped 122 for a Jailbreak. Those cars MSRP at like $88,000. You know what I'm saying? So $30,000 over MSRP and nobody bats an eyelash. But now that the Dodge Demon is coming out, it's like, oh, we're trying to stop markups. Like, come on, bro. You're just trying to save face in the media so that it looks like you're not gouging and being greedy. But that's just my take on the matter. Talk to you, boy. How do you feel about it? $250,000, $300,000 for a Dodge Demon 170. Is it worth it? See you guys in the next one. Peace.